Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm Mark Adsgard. Here's a quick look at some of your headlines. Team Europe defeated the United States 15-13 at Bethpage Black to win the Ryder Cup, surviving a dramatic late comeback attempt by the U.S. Tyrrell Hatton secured the decisive half point to clinch victory. The triumph marked Europe's second straight Ryder Cup win, further fueling the intense tension between the two teams. Earlier this month, tennis Grand Slam season just wrapped up, with Carlos Alcaraz winning his second U.S. Open title after defeating Jannik Sinner in their third Grand Slam final this year. The women's draw saw Iga Swiatek capture her fifth Grand Slam trophy, further solidifying her status as the dominant force in women's tennis. To wrap it up, the Singapore Grand Prix turned into a pivotal chapter in the Formula One championship race, as Oscar Piastri and McLaren held off a strong challenge from Max Verstappen. Lando Norris remains in the mix, with everything still up for grabs in the Drivers' Championship. The season now heads towards its final stretch, with pressure mounting on every contender. And with that, let's bring in our NBA panel, Gabe Pitzker and Alden Detmer, to preview the NBA season. Gabe and Alden, thank you for joining me. It's October, which means the NBA preseason is underway, and soon enough, we'll be back in action. It's been a long offseason, 3-4 months of just waiting around. So I'll ask you guys to start off. Gabe, who improved most this offseason?
Well, I think when you're an NBA GM, you go you go to bed thinking of two things: how not to get fired and how to get yourself a player like Desmond Bane. He's a prototypical 3-and-D wing, and he's everything an NBA GM dreams of. And I think the Orlando Magic had the biggest improvement this season with the addition of Desmond Bane. And
you think it was worth the picks?
I think it was worth the picks. They're in win now mode. They got a young core, and with the new CBA,
Team that needs shooting as well.
Yeah, they need shooting. With the young CBA, the window is very capped when all those contracts kick in. So I think you're going to see improvement from all the Wagner brothers, Suggs, Boncaro, and then Desmond Bane is going to be the guy who puts them over the top this year. I'm very bullish on the Magic.
Alden, how about you?
Well, thanks for having me, Mark. I think the LA Clippers this year are going to be one that really improved over the offseason. They added Bradley Beal, Chris Paul. A lot of people are saying that it's an old squad, a lot of veterans, a lot of old guys. Might have been good.
A retirement home, some might
say. Exactly. It might have been good a few years ago, but I still think they have a few years left in them. I think maybe long term, probably not good for the Clippers, but I think that's the next few seasons.
In that stacked Western Conference, where you see them seeding, like I know there's the Thunder who just won a championship. A lot of teams got better. A lot of the Dallas teams, San Antonio, Houston.
But yeah, definitely.
You think they could get a top 5 seed?
I think so, but I think Thunder definitely towards the top. But I think Clippers go top 5 this year.
Okay. Well, moving on. We've had some, let's just say, teams that didn't improve this season. So what's a team you can see disappointing with high expectations, Gabe?
I got to say it's the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, I think they're starting to call Donovan Mitchell Spider because his playoff record is so small. You could crush it with the bottom of your shoe. He's done nothing. He's done nothing in these playoffs. Well, in his entire career, he has no accomplishments.
He puts on good output, though. He scores 40 a night. I mean, maybe it's the supporting cast.
Well, where's the accomplishments? Embiid gets pillared in the media for doing the same thing Donovan Mitchell does. Donovan Mitchell's got a shoe deal, this and that. Everybody loves Donovan Mitchell. These teams that consistently underperform in the playoffs, they have a sickness in the head. I've seen it with the Sixers.
The East is wide open, though.
The East is wide open, but it's a mental block. They're not going to be able to overcome it. The Cavaliers are not going to do well this year.
Alden, how about you?
I think Los Angeles Lakers. They always seem to disappoint, right? I'm from LA. Every time I watch them, it just seems like, they add Luka Doncic, LeBron James. They got all these great players.
With Luka and LeBron, though, dynamic duo. They didn't have a full year that they traded him for midseason. Do you think they're going to mesh with two guys like that who run the offense?
I don't think so. I think something always goes wrong with them, whether it's a coach, whether it's the guys. Something always seems to go wrong with them. I think that's going to be another story this year to follow. Everyone always hypes them up. Everyone's like, get excited about the Lakers.
Expectations for the Lakers.
And then they always just fall and crash and burn,
Okay, well, moving on. How about a dark horse team? There's teams, honestly, the NBA is wide open this year with a lot of teams who have improved. Any team can make a run in this playoffs. So, Gabe, bringing it back to you, what's a team that you could see making a deep run this year that wouldn't be expected?
Well, people might make fun, but by the strict definition of the word dark horse, the Philadelphia 76ers have to be top of the list. The East is wide open, as you just mentioned. If everybody is healthy with the Sixers, which, again, everybody's always been hurt. So maybe there's got to be a year.
And we don't know about his knees. What do you think? Paul George is getting older.
Well, look, Embiid is probably a candidate for knee replacement, if we're being honest with you. But he can probably limp his way to 20 points a game. We got Maxey, Paul George. Paul George is a solid 15 points a game on 40% from three shooting guy. And I think with this Eastern Conference, if people can play 60 games, they have a shot.
But Gabe, what place did the Sixers finish last year?
I don't want. I can't even remember. It was so bad. I tuned out.
Well, do you in this conference, in the Eastern Conference, they might be a 7th seed at this point. Like, do you think they're going to match up against like the Knicks or Cavs? Do you think they make a run there?
Why couldn't they? They have the talent. It's all about availability at the Sixers. I don't think anybody's questioning the talent.
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, it's all about availability and whether or not they can gel in a playoff run.
Alden, how about you?
I'm gonna go with the Spurs. You know, Stephen Castle's coming off that, rookie of the year season. Yeah, add those
Young
points
and hungry
up.
team,
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly. You got Wemby as well, who's also doing really good. De'Aaron Fox just locked up that contract, which should be good. So I think those guys are gonna kind of mesh together well this year. They're gonna work hard. They're gonna kind of build up and be a dark horse team. Definitely one that they'll want to keep working at, and this year I think might be good for them.
Okay, final question I have for you guys. What do you think is going to be the biggest gameplay change in the NBA this season? I know Adam Silver's constantly trying to change how the NBA works to kind of develop that product moving on. So, Gabe, how about you?
I want to send a message to all the young players out there. If you think you're making the NBA, you're not. We got guys like Lonnie Walker out in Europe. The NBA is too competitive these days. There's too much talent. They're thinking about expansion. The only way to differentiate yourself is with defense. Take a look at somebody like T.J. McConnell, bringing back the full court press. That's my prediction.
Full court press. You really think that's going to happen?
That's my prediction for this upcoming season. We're going to see a lot more full court pressing. So at the end of the day, T.J. McConnell should have never made the NBA. 5'11", can't dunk, can't shoot threes. He had no reason to be there. But you know how he differentiated himself to start? He picked up 94 feet. That's a skill that can't be taught.
Fair. That's
that
fair.
requires no
He
no
does
skills,
hustle.
just
He does
effort.
hustle a lot. And Alden, how about you? Biggest gameplay change you can see
I think
this
biggest
season?
gameplay change is going to be less free throws this
Okay,
season.
I like it.
I
I
think
like
the guys upstairs, you know, Adam Silver, I think they want to see less free throws. Kind of slows down the
Okay.
game. Not as fun to watch, if I'm being honest.
Definitely.
So I think they're going to want to switch away from that. Maybe T.J. McConnell will, kind of motivate them and to get more exciting gameplay into the mix this year.
Okay, guys. Well, we're tied at 10-10.
Wow.
Actually, you guys have both given really good takes. So
That's just being a bad shot.
I think we're going to go with one more question. Who's going to win the NBA championship this season? One sentence, both of you. Gabe, you first.
Houston Rockets.
One sentence. Houston Rockets.
That's a sentence.
And Alden, how about
New
you?
York Knicks.
New York Knicks.
Bad take.
We're going to go
Wow.
with Gabe. So I think Gabe is the first winner of the annual Around the Horn in the NBA. And yes, lots to look forward to this season. Gabe and Alden, thank you for joining me. It was a pleasure having you guys on the panel.
Thank you.
The fall season underway, and we'll take it to Taryn, who has the latest on GW women's soccer.
Thanks, Mark. I'm here at the Mount Vernon campus at GW for a women's soccer game today. It's nice, hot, and humid. I'm a little sweaty, but that's okay. The women's team is playing against Duquesne for one of their very first conference matchups. They just finished up their non-conference season with a tough fight. Missionaries started their preseason strong with matchups against area schools. The team secured a win off the bat against American University and kept that momentum in their next two games, securing ties with Drexel and Colgate. The Revs earned 2 more wins against Howard and VMI and a tie with Loyola, Maryland. They lost against Towson and Binghamton. Going into the game against Duquesne, head coach Jeremy Williams said that he knew the team would have a hard time offensively, and that was an area they needed to work on in practice. I was able to talk to Coach Williams about how the team season is going. So you guys just finished up the non-conference part of your season. What are some of the things you learned as a team from those games?
Yeah, look, I think the non-conference is for us to get prepared for the conference, right? And I thought from the most part, as far as the mentality we want to bring, the concentration in games, the organization, we've seen a lot of improvement, which is good. I think now from our standpoint is, okay, can we get a little bit cleaner in the attack and generate a little bit more from a goal-scoring standpoint? But seeing a lot of the elements that we've worked on, and now we just need to reward ourselves with some goals.
Awesome. Every opponent is different and has some different strengths. What did you guys focus on this week heading into this game against Duquesne?
Yeah, Duquesne scored a ton of goals throughout this season. So one of the things that was going to be important for us was to disrupt the rhythm and ultimately keep them out of the back of the net, right? So that was a big focus for us and the team that likes to move the ball a lot. And so I thought for the most part we did a good job of that. Getting a few times in a little bit of the transitional situations would have seen us do a little bit better. But I thought you saw a lot of the work that we worked on throughout the week. So you got to be happy with that.
And this is your second season as head coach. What has been the biggest difference between your first and second year with this team?
Yeah, I think the first year you're learning the players. ultimately, I think when it comes to it, it's one of those things where you're going through your first fall, right? And so you've got games where you're under pressure and games where you're really starting to see the true colors, right? Both with our current players and how we want to do things, right? So for me, in the second part of this season, or the second season rather, I've thought seen a lot of the elements that we've really been able to train throughout the spring, and I think there is a little bit more continuity with the group as well. And ultimately, I think a lot of progress. But like I said, we got to reward ourselves now with some of the play that we've seen.
The team's next home game will be on Saturday, October 11th at 1 p.m. against the LaSalle University Explorers. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Taryn. With that, let's bring our NFL panel, Matt and Brick, to give us some early takes on the NFL season. Fellas, we're just entering week 5 now, and we're getting to the point where some teams are standing out amongst the others. Still very early on, lots could happen. So what are you guys going to do for today?
Yeah. We've got a little tier list for you guys. We're going to be ranking some contenders, some pretenders, and some dumpster fires. Really?
Look forward to it, guys.
It's going to be a vibe. So let's go ahead and get over this. We've got our tier list set up. And right here, we're going to be starting off with our first set of contenders for this year's NFL season. Now, for me, one of my contenders, one that I think is going really well, despite a tie in week 4 to the Cowboys, give me the Green Bay Packers as your Super Bowl contenders. I'm loving Jordan Love right now. I'm loving Josh Jacobs. I'm loving Micah Parsons.
That defense looks great.
I don't know what Jerry Jones was thinking, but hey, the Packers are going to take full advantage of it. I don't think they're missing Rodgers at all. And I mean, hey, Jordan Love, 1,000 passing yards through 4 weeks. Come on.
That's a great take. For my first contender, I got the Colts.
You're going the Colts?
Spicy.
Now listen,
Daniel
bro.
Jones at QB.
They came in with, I think, zero hope for the season. They had a guy who was supposed to be a franchise quarterback injured in preseason. That is tragic. But since then, I think they've made up for it in a huge way. The run game looks great. The pass defense looks phenomenal. The only problem might be their run defense. But at the end of the day, I think it's a solid team, and I think they are contenders.
Not to mention that division is wide open.
Absolutely.
So they could definitely win that and get a top seed.
I think so.
I mean, that's, you know what, we'll see how that one plays out. But even coming off of this past week's Thursday night football, we're looking, give me the San Francisco 49ers as our first pretender.
Ooh.
Look, they're 4-1, but everyone is injured. Like, you're telling me you spend $250 million in the offseason for Brock Purdy, dude gets injured, and you have freaking Mac Jones leading your team.
Mac Jones did great.
Do you want Mac Jones leading your team in the playoffs?
I think
you believe in Mac Jones.
Is an NFL caliber quarterback starting.
I mean, he would
100%.
barely make it on an LSU team. Let's be so for real, Mark.
I don't know about that,
Let's be
Matt.
so for real. Give me the 49ers as your pretender here.
It's a fair take. For a second pretender, I got the Steelers.
Ooh.
Listen, what they're doing is, it feels like an all-or-nothing move. They're backing their entire team around a decrepit Aaron Rodgers, a geriatric Aaron Rodgers. I like the guy.
Fine. He looks fine.
He's playing well this season, but I don't think he has the stamina to go a full NFL season.
Record prediction 9-8 as usual.
I just,
Will
I
Mike
think
Tomlin
it's
keep that winning
Tomlin
streak?
basic.
the Mike Tomlin special. I think they're going to have, 500 record. I got to put them in pretenders.
You know what? I do kind of agree with that. But we're going to move on to our dumpster fires because, quite frankly, there are a lot of them this year. But I think the one that stands out the most, give me the Jets.
Oh, the Jets.
I mean, it's the Jets. Come on. Anyone who's a Jet fan, you know what? I want to break off from you guys for just a second and talk straight to the Jet fans. All of you guys in the audience today, what are you doing with your life? Supporting this poverty franchise that's been awful, always has been, currently is, and always will be. Reconsider your life choices because the Jets are...
Just for reference, last time the Jets were in the playoffs, I think I was in elementary school. So
Sounds about right. Yeah.
All right, and for a second dumpster fire, we got the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, Jerry.
Jerry Jones.
America's team.
Jerry.
I fully, wholeheartedly believe that if they traded every single player from their defense other than Micah Parsons and had him go out there alone, they'd be playing better. Look, they tied the Packers, but that was in no part thanks to the defense. Their offense looks solid. I'll give them that. Dak Prescott is not a bad quarterback. They have
Okay, buddy.
He'll be good through the first half of the season, I think. They have a solid receiving core. Their run game is atrocious, and their
George
defense
Pickens,
is
new pickup. Thoughts?
one of the highest skill ceilings in the NFL, I think. But yeah, their defense is a screen door, dumpster fire.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to jump back over to Pretenders, and I know they just came off of the three-peat attempt, foiled by the Eagles, but give me, for Pretenders, Kansas City Chiefs. Now, in my humble opinion, Patrick Mahomes is the most overrated quarterback in football.
Wow.
I think he's got the skill, he's got the talent, but he just doesn't. There's something missing from him, and I don't know what it is.
So you
I don't
think
know
he's
if I
the
can
best
say.
quarterback in the NFL currently?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
No.
That's quite a hot take.
I wouldn't.
Rick,
Is that a hot take?
Would you say he's the best NFL quarterback?
I don't think you can argue that.
You know,
I think the success he's seen with the team he's been on. Look, he doesn't have the best receiving core. He doesn't have the best defense, and he still makes plays.
You know what? I'll give you some credit on that. Either way, give me Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes every single day of the week. I got him at Pretenders. They don't have any hope this year.
All right, for our last pretender, we got the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh, fumble fingers, Henry.
I mean, listen, the only thing keeping them out of dumpster fire is how good they really could be. We saw a lot of potential from them last year. Lamar Jackson, MVP, could be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and it's just not living up to the hype.
It's early in the season. You don't think they could turn it around?
Look, I think the last time they started out like this, they had a losing season. Wow. I don't think they have it. I think Derrick Henry's losing the mental battle pretty hard right now, and I don't know if he comes back.
Honestly,
But for now,
I respect it.
I got him in Pretenders.
All right, for my final contender, this is my old hometown team, the former San Diego Chargers, now the LA Chargers. Give me the Super Bowl contenders. I think Justin Herbert is on a generational run right now. The receiving core is strong, and it's all
I don't know.
up for
A
them
team
right
that
now.
lose to the Giants, I don't know if you can call them a contender, man. I'm just saying.
I mean, you're blaming it off of one game. Look at their success earlier on. I mean, it's just, and look, here's the thing. The Giants, as much as I want to, hate on them for being awful, once they switch over to Jackson Dart, I think Dart has potential here. I think we were looking at a Giants team that was renewed with hope, that was renewed with some strength. And quite frankly, I think the Chargers are making a run this year. I think they're taking it over the Chiefs.
Rick, thank you for making the tier list. It was really, honestly, some great takes there. Thank you for joining me. With more on the latest in GW sports, correspondent Ashley Robinson is standing by. Ashley?
Thanks, Mark. Men's and women's cross country came away with 2 fifth-place finishes at the University of Virginia Invitational. The men's squad was led by senior Austin Brodemarkle, who finished 12th overall, and the women were led by sophomore Hadley Mahoney, who took home 14th overall. Both teams will next return in Lehigh University's annual Paul Short Run. Men's soccer fell 2-1 in their first road conference match against St. Bonaventure. Graduate transfer Tommaso Lamy scored his first goal in the Buff and Blue before the Bonnies scored twice late in the second half. This sets the Revs at 2-6-2 overall and 0-2-0 in A10 play. Water polo swept their foes 3-0 in the start of conference play at home this past weekend. The team beat Bucknell 15-13, Mercyhurst 18-10, and Mount St. Mary's 19-13. These wins improved GW's record to 7-8. Women's tennis recently competed in the Blue and Gold Invite at Navy with top performances from Victoria Sasinka and Madison Lee, who went 3-1 and 2-2 in the singles A flight, and Sasinka and Solange Skeen, who went 1-1 in doubles. The team will next compete in Richmond's River City Open. Back to you in the studio.
Ashley Robinson, thank you. Now let's bring our panel, Jonah DiGiacomo and Anthony Achkar, to break down the MLB playoffs. Fellas, the wild card just finished up, and we got the divisional rounds going on right now. What are your thoughts?
Well,
Quick
first
thoughts.
of all, it's great to be here, Mark. Thanks for having us on. And we're ready for a quite enthralling matchup here in the divisional round between the remaining 8 teams in the MLB playoffs.
Thank you for having me on, Mark. I think the MLB playoffs is the best playoffs in all professional sports, and it's going to be a great one this year.
All right, so to decide these matchups, we have some 4 great matchups today. We'll be spinning a wheel. The first wheel will get the team, and the other person will get the matchup. So, for example, when I spin the wheel, it lands on a team. Anthony will go first, and then Jonah will have the opposite team. So let's get to it. First spin. Let's spin the wheel. Got Yankees. So Anthony will do Yankees, and Jonah will do the Blue Jays. Take it ahead, Anthony.
All right, I have a lot to say about the Yankees. First of all, they finished as the hottest team in baseball, winning their last 7 games of the season. They went straight from the regular season, straight to the wild card, and straight to the ALDS. They don't have time to cool off. The Blue Jays, I think the bye is going to hurt them. They're going to cool off. They're not going to be as good, and the Yankees are going to take advantage of that. They're very confident. from winning another divisional rival in the Red Sox, and I think they're going to keep that stampede going against the Blue Jays. Their starting pitching has been fantastic. 8 scoreless, 12 strikeouts yesterday. The Yankees just have a lot of momentum, and I think it's going to be hard to stop that offense.
Let me just say something here, Anthony. These are not your mother's Yankees. These are not your grandfather's Yankees. These are not the great Yankees teams of the past. These Yankees have floundered in the playoffs over the last few years. 8-5 versus the Yankees this year, the Blue Jays are. The Blue Jays are 41-27 after the break. And you know what? Nobody talks about them. They've got Kevin Gausman, Shane Bieber, Trey Savage, and who knows, Max Scherzer might have another run in them. Myles Straw has playoff experience, and him and Ernie Clement have great locker room impacts. George Springer is one of the best hitters in baseball this year with a 166 OPS+. I think with their bullpen, with Jeff Hoffman, Sir Anthony Dominguez, they can come off the bye, and they are the #1 seed in the American League for a reason. There's a reason that they finished above the Yankees this year in the divisional series.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let's get to the next wheel spin. Spin the wheel. Got the Phillies. Take it out, Jonah.
Phillies on this one. One of my favorite teams this season, Christopher Sanchez, is going to finish second in NL Cy Young voting for a reason as well. 200 strikeouts, over 200 innings. And Jesus Luzardo as well. The Phillies' strong point comes in their pitching and their bullpen. And also, Schwarbombs. We can see what their potent offense does in the playoffs. Harper, Turner, Schwarber, it's all for the taking for the Phillies.
I mean, it's funny that you mention having a good roster because we're talking about the LA Dodgers here. They have a $350 million payroll each year, and their best player, Shohei Ohtani, is making $2 million. That just puts into perspective the bona fide super team that they have. And even though they lost most of their games against the Phillies this year, I believe they were 2-4, 3 of the games that they lost were only by 1 run. And we saw last year that the Dodgers know how to turn it up in October.
I don't know, man. I don't know what I think about that. I think the Phillies got it. Philly sports is on a roll right now, so we'll see what happens. It's definitely my favorite matchup. So let's get to the next matchup. Let's spin the wheel. Mariners. Take it away, Anthony.
Big dumper. 60 home runs. I mean, what else can I say?
MVP.
They are second in on-base percentage. No, sorry, that's the wrong team. But the Mariners have been fantastic. I mean, when you need a big moment, you can call on Cal. That's what I like to say. They've been great, and playoffs is all about close baseball, and you need a big play at the end, and Cal is the guy you want.
Well, the Mariners this year have been nothing short of incredible, but the Tigers, a team that made the ALDS last season, baseball gods love a classic. Give hope to the team, the Mariners, who haven't won a division series since 2001.
Jonah, I don't know. Detroit sports in general has not been looking great. I don't know if the Tigers can do it. I'm going to have to pick the Mariners on that. And here we go, the last matchup, the Brewers and the Cubs. Let's spin the wheel. Cubs.
All right, the Cubs on this one. 6 players with at least 20 home runs this season. We saw them edge past the Padres in the wild card round. Wrigley is a harsh playoff environment, and with that wind, I think that the Cubs can take this one over the Brewers. Divisional rivalry. We've seen it in the past. This is going to be a close one, Anthony.
Now for the team that actually is second in on-base percentage, the Milwaukee Brewers. They're going to work the pitch count. They're going to work the bullpen of the Cubs, and we know that's the most important part of playoff baseball is working the bullpen. They have the second best ERA in all of baseball as a whole team, so they're going to conserve the Cubs, and they're going to work them out.
Thank you, gentlemen. That's all we have on today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and raise high.